Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and a faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country, and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
There is no communication. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
No messages. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
There are no petitions. Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
There are no papers to be laid. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
There are no notices of motion. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
There are no statements. Next order.
Order number 8, motion.
There is a motion by the Honorable Wilson Mwangi, Wachira, Wajef.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Wajef Wilson Mwangi, member representing Menengai Ward in Nakuru Town East. And Mr. Speaker, I need to move a motion. Whereas Chapter 6 of the Constitution, as read together with the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, Cap 185C, and the Public Officer Ethics Act, Cap 185B, Laws of Kenya, provides for, among other matters, the conduct of state and public officers and the unaccountable exercise of power and responsibility assigned to state and public officers. And whereas Article 10 and 73 of the Constitution and Section 3 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 provide for the respect of the rule of law, good governance, accountability, and transparency of state officers for decision and actions as key guiding principle of leadership. And whereas Section 44(3) of the County Government Act, Cap 265, provides for the duties and responsibilities of the County Secretary. Appreciating that Article 185(3), as read together with Section 8 of the County Government Act, Cap 265, the County Assembly is mandated to undertake oversight of the County Executive in the performance of its functions as provided for in the Constitution and other enabling laws. Cognizant that the County Government Act, CAM 265, provides for the grounds upon which the County Secretary may be removed from office, among them gross misconduct, violation of the Constitution, and incompetence. Now, therefore, this House resolves to remove Dr. Samuel Maura from the office of the County Secretary of Nakuru on the following grounds. 1. Gross violation of the Constitution, County Government Act, Leadership and Integrity Act, the County Assembly Powers and Privilege Act. A, failure to appear before the committees of the Assembly. Article 7.3 of the Constitution provides that authority assigned to state officer is a public trust to be exercised in a manner that demonstrates respect to the people and promotes public confidence in the integrity of the office. Further, Article 195 of the Constitution, as laid together with Section 18 of the County Assembly Powers and Privilege Act, CAM 265C, mandates the County Assembly or any of its committees to invite any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence and providing information. To this end, the County Secretary was on diverse dates invited to appear before committees of the County Assembly to respond to issues touching on the performance of the county public service. Nevertheless, he failed to honor the invites nor notify the relevant committee of the reasons for his non-appearance. This is a blatant violation of the Constitution and the County Assembly's Powers and Privilege Act. 2, gross misconduct. Violation of Section 7.3 of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012, which states that in carrying out the duties of the office, a state officer shall not violate the rights and fundamental freedoms of any person unless otherwise expressly provided for in the law and in accordance with Article 24 of the Constitution of Kenya. B, violation of Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, which states, a state officer is in a position of public trust and the authority and responsibility vested in a state officer shall be exercised by the state officer in the best interest of the people of Kenya. Blatant disobedience of court orders. Whereas Kenya is a country governed by the rule of law, the county secretary used his privileged position to disobey a court order that was issued by the Environment and Land Court in Nakuru in petition number 36 of 2023, restraining the county government of Nakuru from interfering with the operations at War Memorial Hospital. However, the county secretary, with the assistance of unknown loud youth, violently stormed the treatment facility and disrupted the smooth running of the facility, thus denying patients the right to the highest standard of health as provided under Article 43 of the Constitution. Further, the county secretary hired goons to forcibly eject, humiliate, and intimidate the health workers attending the patients at the War Memorial Hospital. This was done in total disregard to a court order earlier issued restraining the county government from interfering with the services. Article 37 of the Constitution provides that every person has the right peaceably and unarmed to assemble, to demonstrate, picket, and to present petitions to public authorities. The county secretary violently prevented the Law Society of Kenya, Rift Valley branch, from exercising their constitutional right to peaceful protest and addressing the media on matters touching on the violation of the rights of patients at War Memorial Hospital. As a result, several people sustained serious injuries. Incompetence. Violation of Section 11A, B, C, and D of the Leadership and Integrity Act 2012 that states Section 443A of the County Government Act provides that the county secretary is the head of the county public service. Despite this, the county secretary has failed to coordinate and streamline the provision of essential service to the public. Specifically, he failed to carry out duties of the office in a manner that maintains public confidence in the integrity of the office. His incompetence has led to a disjointed and inefficient public service across all departments, thus denying citizens their rights. Mr. Speaker, we are hereby tabling this motion to a man who was vetted by this House, who passed through the integrity. And Mr. Speaker, today, as I stand here, we have one county secretary who always, and most of the time that we have been summoning this man to this House, he has always refused. Mr. Speaker, as you know, we as the state officers and our oversight work, we have to call the state officers to come and answer questions through our committees. Mr. Speaker, this gentleman, Dr. Samuel Maura, just came the other day, that is on Monday, after he realized that we have tabled a motion to remove him. Mr. Speaker, even when this gentleman, Dr. Maura, the county secretary, came to this assembly to answer questions to our three committees, Mr. Speaker, this man even decided to call our co-chairs so that they can switch the cameras so that we can't know or we can't hear what he's saying, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we later came to know that this gentleman, Dr. Maura, has had his own views in terms of the questions that we were asking. And Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, there were no answers that we got from this man. Mr. Speaker, that is the violation of the Constitution, whereby we can't be able to move as a county if at all we are not going to tell and inform our constituents what is going around in our county. Mr. Speaker, we have come to realize that Dr. Maura violated the Constitution by not coming to summons and invitations in this assembly. Mr. Speaker, number two, this gentleman violated Section 8 of the Leadership and Integrity Act, but by not obeying court orders. Mr. Speaker, there was a petition, number 36, that was restraining the county government from interfering with the services of War Memorial Hospital. Being the head of the public service, Mr. Speaker, this gentleman was the first to enter in War Memorial Hospital and even giving orders for the patients and anybody who was entering that hospital to be removed. Mr. Speaker, so many patients got injured as this gentleman was the one who brought goons to protect anybody who was attending that facility. Mr. Speaker, there was a day that the Royal Society of Kenya were picketing in our CBD in Nakuru County. Mr. Speaker, this gentleman, Dr. Mwaura, is the one who planned and executed through goons to disrupt the picketing of the member of public and the Law Society of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, so many people are injured. When we look at the integrity of this gentleman, Mr. Speaker, we see that the county secretary, Dr. Mwaura, is not supposed to be in this office because of the integrity matters that we have seen in the last 2 years since he got in this office. So, Mr. Speaker, that is why I'm urging the members of this House to be together to make sure that we give this job to somebody who have integrity, who cares for his people of this good county of Nakuru. So, Mr. Speaker, I would urge this House to pass this motion so that we can remove this man and make sure that our county is running smoothly with integrity. Mr. Speaker, Mwaura must go, Mwaura must go, Mwaura must go. I take this opportunity to request Honorable Kanyeri to second.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I stand to raise and second this motion. And I want to say that in the spirit of our roles as representative of the people, as it has been echoed by my fellow member of County Assembly from Menengai, we have tried to do our oversight role through inviting members of the executive through writing, and most of the occasions they have failed to attend. And Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to be on record that we are not doing it for character assassination, but we are doing it for our oversight role. And it should be in record that we have been frustrated in doing our roles, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, in many occasions that we have invited the members of the executive, they have failed to attend. And the county secretary, being the coordinator of the executive, he has the mandate to coordinate his people to come and answer the queries that we have. In some occasions, Mr. Speaker, sir, from where I sit, there is a court order that ordered the county government to pay some workers that were they were working with the county government, but later they were dismissed. There is a court order to that effect that they are supposed to be paid. But up to now, those people, they have their families, they are suffering, and we are wondering what is happening with the county government. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to rise and support this motion in the spirit that we are doing our oversight role and we should not be intimidated by anybody for doing our constitution mandate. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, the motion is properly seconded and moved. And now I propose the question, which is that the county secretary, Dr. Samuel Mwaura, be removed from the office on the following grounds: gross violation of the Constitution, County Government Act, Leadership and Integrity Act, and the Assembly's Powers and Privileges Act. 2, gross misconduct. And 3, incompetence. The motion is open for debate. The Honourable Member for Naivasha East.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for, first of all, giving that chance, and also thank you, Honorable Wajef and Kanyeri, for the motion. Mr. Speaker, there are some issues that I really want to raise and maybe ask, so that this is a house of rules and regulations. And Mr. Speaker, I would like to bring some pertinent issues that ought to be addressed by the members even before prosecuting the motion. Mr. Speaker, let me go to Standing Order 63. Maybe we start from 63. And if you look at Standing Order, before you go to 63, there is that part that says procedure for removal from state office. What is the role of the Assembly? The Assembly is mandated to remove some individuals from office. Mr. Speaker, if you check procedure for removal from state office, anybody that the Assembly is meant to remove must be a who? A state officer. Mr. Speaker. And before you, after the Constitution, after the Standing Order says that, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 goes on to define who should be a state officer. A state officer, Mr. Speaker, if you check from County Government Act, because we are in the county government, the County Government Act, Mr. Speaker, defines that there shall be a county government for each county, consisting of 1, the county assembly, and 2, the county executive. And I think that is where we will start, Mr. Speaker. And then it goes on, Mr. Speaker, to define who should be members of county assembly and who should be the members of county executive. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the Constitution, Article 177, starting, and I think members will have the Constitution, because this is a matter not more of political, but more of intellectual, cognitive capability for debate. Mr. Speaker, because we do not want the Assembly of Nakuru tomorrow to be a laughing stock. Mr. Speaker, members of the county assembly have been identified, Mr. Speaker, and I think we are together, 77. And I think, members, you have to juxtapose the Constitution with the Standing Order, starting from 63, and then we get to 67, so that you know where your parameters rise. So, Mr. Speaker, if you, I need to go there. Mr. Speaker, you want to juxtapose procedure for removal from state office, and then you go to the Constitution that is the mother of all laws, and then you define who are state officers. State officers, number 1, from the county government, are members of county assembly. And the Constitution creates the members of the county assembly, says how the members of the county assembly will be brought to the assembly, what is the role, how they can be removed, either willingly or through force. Then you go to number 2, that is the members of county assembly. They have been created as state officers. Number 2, you go to the speaker, the office that you hold, Mr. Speaker. As a member of the county assembly, Mr. Speaker, you are a state officer. The Constitution defines you That is Article 178. I think members will go together in terms of constitution. 178. And the speaker, it says there shall be one speaker. And it creates the office of the speaker. And it shows how that office of the speaker will run, how the office of the speaker comes in, how the speaker can move from that office willingly, and how the speaker can be ejected. Then we are now through with state officers in the assembly. We go to the other side, Mr. Speaker. You go to the county executive, Article 179. And I think, Opio, we are together. If you go to 179, now, the Constitution creates the office of the county executive. And it goes on to say, the executive authority of the county is vested and exercised by the county executive committee. And then the Constitution defines who should be the county executive office. Number 2. That is 179.2. The county executive committee consists, one, of the county governor and the deputy governor as one office. That's why they were elected jointly. Then,
Mr. Speaker, point of information.
You are informing me of the Constitution.
Allow
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member. Yes. Honorable member, allow.
You will come in. You will come in.
Allow the member on the floor
we
to.
We have the whole day.
Order.
Yes, yes.
Why are you to inform him that what amount of days or?
No, Mr. Speaker.
So,
Mr. Speaker.
Now, order.
So.
Proceed.
Let me proceed. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, let us read the Constitution first before we debate, and we remove politics so that we can be in equal power to know what is the role of this House. Now, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the member is providing us with unnecessary information. We would. Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable member.
Yeah?
The honorable.
Let me go.
The honorable Karanja.
I'm continuing, Mr. Speaker.
Wind up your time. You have 2 minutes to wind up.
Yes, I will do that. Therefore, now we are losing track. We have already defined state officers in the assembly. Now I'm defining state officers in the executive. And I've said they are the governor and the deputy.
Mr. Speaker,
governor.
this is not a training workshop. We are not here to be
briefed on
the
honorable member for Moredat, don't interrupt the proceedings of this House again. You will talk when you are allowed time by the chair. So, Honorable Karanja,
yes,
you
Mr.
have
Speaker.
1 minute. 1 minute
yes.
to
now even
finish
your
you submissions.
I have not even talked to you. Mr. Speaker, it defines now.
Mr. Speaker, sir, because he has been interrupted, you should add him some time.
Yes. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr.
The honorable members, order. Have your seat. Have your seat. You are the honorable member for. The honorable Lea Serem. Have your seat. This is a house that we allow the members who sit in this house to execute and to submit what they have, and then we allow another member also to submit their views. So, the Honorable Karaja, you have 2 minutes from now, and we agree that there's no interruption, so that everybody here will have their time. So, proceed 2 minutes. 2 minutes. What you also need to agree, the Honorable Karanja, is that as much as you're saying that we have all the day, you cannot have all the time. So you have a maximum of 2 minutes to finish on your submission.
So thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will now summarize. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in the executive, we have the county governor and the deputy, and then CECs, county executive members. Those are now state officers. So, Mr. Speaker, you come now, after the Constitution has created these offices, you come now to what is called the County Government Act number number 17 of 2012. It now gives the life to what the Constitution had created. It gives meat to the bones. And then it says what the role of the, in the assembly, it says the role of the MCAs, how the MCAs can come in and how they can leave. It goes on now to the speaker, and it gives the structure of removal. Both for MCAs, you can be recalled. Speaker can be removed. And then it also goes on to say governor can be impeached, both the governor and the deputy governor, and then CECs. Now, Mr. Speaker, let us now go to the standing orders, where it gives us power to do our role. From now, 63, bearing its powers from the Constitution and the County Government Act, comes with a procedure of 1, removal of the speaker, 63. 64, procedure for removal of the deputy speaker. 65, removal, this one is removal, but 65 says procedure for removal.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
The honorable member,
See,
we've agreed that we are not going to entertain orders. The honorable member for
Speaker,
you have 1 minute.
I am now finished.
More than he has confused. He has confused more than 2 minutes.
Order.
So governor.
Order.
So
every member will have his time. So and we want to move very systematically, so that now everybody is able to get the gist of their submission. So the honorable member for Naivasha East.
So, Mr. Speaker,
your 1 minute.
1 minute.
Your 1 minute now expires.
So, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, point of order 104. I am raising on a point of order 104.
It is overruled.
On irrelevance and repetition.
Order. It is overruled. Proceed.
So, Mr. Speaker, procedure for removal of the governor, it is
Honorable Speaker.
It is clear. Then
Order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable member for Kiptororo, have your seat.
Standing order.
Have your seat. Have your seat.
So 67, Mr. Speaker, it talks about the removal of CCs. Therefore, this House can only impeach how many people? 1, it can only impeach the Speaker. 2, it can only impeach the governor. It cannot remove the Speaker, remove the Deputy Speaker, remove through impeachment the governor and the Deputy Governor, and then remove members of CC. Therefore, those are the persons who have been defined by the Constitution as state officers. As far as I agree with Wajef, now the problem comes in. The CS cannot be removed by the House through a motion. And that's where now, point
of order, Mr. Speaker.
Now comes in.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I lies on point of order number 57.
The honorable member for Naivasha East. Now you've
Mr. Speaker,
you've passed your point.
No, I have not.
Mr. Speaker,
you've passed your point.
Now, Mr. Speaker.
Order, have your seat.
Mr. Speaker,
have your seat now.
2 minutes
Mr. Speaker, I lies on point of order. Mr. Speaker,
let me conclude. I'm concluding.
Mr. Speaker,
let me quote this, Mr. Speaker.
Have your seat. Have your seat.
Your time is up.
No, have your seat.
Is up.
So, Mr.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Mr. Speaker, point of order.
The Speaker
Order. Order.
The Speaker.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. So,
Point of order.
Have your seat. The honorable member for El Pagon, have your seat. So, the honorable member for Naivasha East. So, now have your seat. No, have your seat. I did not give you permission to stand. You've given your submission. You've given your submission. And so, from what you've said, we And you have communicated. You have communicated. You have communicated. You have communicated. Have your seat. The honorable member for Kerrigate.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think I want to join my colleague, Honorable Karanja, in making conclusion on his behalf. And in reference to the County Act, of Nakuru, the County Act, appointment of County Secretary, number 44, Section 2, Part C. It says that may, subject to the conditions and terms of appointment, be dismissed by the governor. So I'm just alluding, Mr. Speaker, that the county assembly do not have the powers to impeach or to remove, but rather it is the governor who should actually dismiss. So I think we'll have to go into our standing orders to redo it so that we can have the powers then to do what Jeff wanted us to do. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, it will
I'm
be...
going to give direction on this matter. Now, we've had... Have your seat, the Honorable Jeff. The Honorable Majority Leader, a moment. At this point, the Honorable Member for Naivasha East and the Honorable Member for Kerrigate, they are raising prominent issues about the practicability and the possibility of a removal of the county secretary by the assembly. At this point, you are the proponents that you are supporting the motion. So you cannot again turn and say that you, because from the signatures that I got, you proponents, you're providing support for that. So right now, what you do, you allow, you've been heard. The other, because of course there are proponents and those who are opposing, you allow the debate to proceed. We've heard from your end. Now we allow whether the other members think that the assembly has power to remove this, the county secretary. The Honorable Leader of Majority Party.
Mr. Speaker, as a mover, I think...
Order. The time now is given to the Leader of Majority Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm a bit amazed and thrown in confusion, Mr. Speaker, as the leader of majority in the House and for the subject matter that is before this great assembly. Mr. Speaker, the motion before this House is a very sensitive motion. It is a motion, Mr. Speaker, that touches on an integrity, touches on a father, touches on a a servant who has served for a very long time. And it is upon this House to make a determination. And without giving much color, we have been told by our senior that this House does not have a mandate. And I wish we can, someone can check on the mic. There's a lot of echo. That this House has no mandate to execute the matter before us today. One, Mr. Speaker, this has been a process.
The Honorable, you can use the microphone on the bar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Where we are has been a process, Mr. Speaker. And my senior, who has told us that we cannot prosecute, is of course the lead team in terms of bringing this motion to this great house. When we look at the standing orders, Mr. Speaker, he has ably quoted the standing orders of this assembly. And the standing orders of this assembly, we read in concurrent with other orders and other practices. According to the County Government Act, and there was one of 2012, with the new amendments of 2023. The older act, Mr. Speaker, had no provision even of how to dismiss a county secretary, but it has been put in the County Government Act of 2023. And I would wish to read, for the benefit of doubt, if we can go to the County Government Act of 2023, subsection 40. It talks about how a county secretary is actually brought in. When you go to section 44, 3A, it talks of how a county government, a county secretary can be removed from the house or from your office. And I would want, just for the benefit of doubt, to read the same. In 44, it talks of the appointment. In 44, 3A, the county secretary may be removed from office on the following grounds. It states the grounds, starts by stating the grounds. It goes downwards, Mr. Speaker, to say that before, of course, the county secretary is removed, it has to be done in writing and he has to be notified. And there are other many options, Mr. Speaker, of removing, including him resigning from the office, and including the removal by the governor direct from the office. It is true, this is a house of law and order. And before this motion was brought to this house, Mr. Speaker, there is a committee that sat, of course, the House Business Committee. My senior here could not have taken the whole country into a trip, a joyriding trip, of making us believe that we can remove the county.
Point of information, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The Honourable Member for Kerrigat, the Honourable Leader of Majority, proceed.
That we have ability to remove the county secretary. We all know what has happened. We all know the caucusing that has been done. And you have all believed until the motion was tabled. Today, Mr. Speaker, we have gazetted a special sitting for this assembly. If you look at the gallery, the whole Kenya is here to see. The proponents of this motion could not have been taking the whole country in a ride, Mr. Speaker, knowing very well, and then you come with a card the last minute to tell us that this motion is not supposed to be debated by this house. It is not fair. It is not in order. And we cannot keep on taking the whole country and shaming the Assembly of Nakuru. Mr. Speaker, I've tried to read any law. I've tried to see any proceeding. I have never seen anywhere where a county secretary has been impeached. It is true. And the motion before the Nakuru today would have been the first one. When we look at the standing orders, and I want to take my senior to our now standing orders. First of all, it is good for us to know a county secretary can be removed from the office. That is a law. Number two, when I go to the standing orders, number one,
The Honorable Majority Leader is on the floor. No distractions. Proceed.
Thank you for protection. I want to read to you now our standing orders, which you say has no mandate. First of all, we agree according to law, the county secretary, though it has not been done, and I'm yet to see which county has ever removed a county secretary. Standing order number 1, and we can read, in cases not provided for, the Speaker to decide. That is the title, and it is our standing orders for this great house. It states, in all cases not hereinafter provided for, and subject to the Constitution and other written laws, all, not a few, including this one, Mr. Speaker, all. The Speaker shall decide. This is the law. It is a standing order of this House. So if you don't know whether we should or we shouldn't, the Speaker equally has a right. Our standing orders give the mandate. Because this is a new thing. We are in a new arena. We have not seen this before. So, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I would want the proponents not to chicken out at the last minute. We have been here. You cannot run away from your own shadows. This is your shadow, and you must sleep with it. You must walk with it. Until the end of it, you cannot run away from your shadow. No way. We have been in this mess for so long as a county assembly. So I want you to own, this is a child. You cannot create a child, let me for a better word. You cannot make a woman expectant and work with this woman for 9 months, taking care of her, bring a lot of baby showers around, showering and thanking God that the child wants to be born. That at the time of labor pains, you start telling the woman to give birth. It cannot happen. This child must be delivered.
There is no order.
Point of information.
There is no
This
order.
child,
The Honorable,
me, Mr. Speaker.
the Honorable Majority Leader. Order. The Honorable Member for Naivasha East. It is not honorable to shout when the other members did not shout at you. The Honorable Leader of Majority Party, finish on your submission, and then we proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the bill of impeachment, the motion for impeachment is at the delivery stage. It is at its labor stage, and the woman wants to give birth. We cannot deny this woman to give birth to this child. And we cannot, no matter how much you want to decide to kill it, let the motion continue to its conclusive decision. This is your shadow. Please work with it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Member for Lakeview, and then we'll take another round.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Member for Order. Mr. Speaker, order. The Honorable, Mr. Speaker, order. and they are here to do their work. So let there be order, let order prevail. The Honorable Leader of Minority Party.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to stand on standing order number 47 regarding the motion that we are discussing and any other motion that has been brought to this assembly. Mr. Speaker, the motion that we are discussing today was brought to your office according to standing order number 47, and a notice was given to that effect, and that is why we are here after 3 days elapses. Mr. Speaker, the same motion which was brought to this House, standing order number 55, when a motion has been moved, which has already been made and seconded, the Speaker proposes the question for continuity, which you have already made. Mr. Speaker, that has already been done. The Honorable Wajev came up with a motion. A seconder came to that effect, and therefore the motion is very much alive and in progress. Mr. Speaker, if the proponents of this motion wanted to make an amendment, it's equally allowed in the standing orders. They should have done the amendments in 2 hours in writing to your office, which, Mr. Speaker, you need to tell us whether that has happened. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, the debate at hand, what the proponents are saying, it is immaterial, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, you should provoke that we proceed with the discussion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. The member for Lakeview, you are on the ground. You are on the floor before the slight fracas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is some sabotage within the House. Mr. Speaker, it is quite saddening when we have the events that we have today in such an honorable House. Many people within the country will find themselves in what Robert Frost calls as road not taken. That people have 2 roads here, and 1 road must be taken, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a gentleman in the name of County Secretary Samuel Mwaura is on this floor of this House. By nature, that has been introduced and has been discussed not just by these members. The entire county, the entire country has had to know that Nakuru County is going through such a motion today. The proponents of this motion, Mr. Speaker, have gone ahead, addressed the media, done so much. And I wonder, Mr. Speaker, one of the proponents, the gentleman who seconded this motion, went ahead and said that they are not here on character assassination, Mr. Speaker. If you were to kill this motion here today, and right now, Mr. Speaker, we shall have assassinated a character of someone. Mr. Speaker, the gentleman here, we have been told so much about him. The media has captured that. The nation has captured that. The Hansard has captured that, Mr. Speaker. Yet, he's not here to defend himself, and we have said that what has been said, Mr. Speaker, has been addressed on the floor of this assembly. In the Nazi German, Mr. Speaker, media was used to propel propaganda, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot keep quiet when we find bad things happening to someone, Mr. Speaker. Someone has asked in this House, Mr. Speaker, what was the initial thought of bringing such a motion, Mr. Speaker? Standing Order 67, Mr. Speaker, 2. It states very well, Mr. Speaker, that a member who has obtained the approval of the Speaker to move a motion under paragraph 1 shall give 3 days notice calling for dismissal of a member to County Executive Committee member wait, Karanja.
Proceed.
No.
Proceed.
I proceed.
The honorable member, proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I proceed, this gentleman had all the time to come to your office and withdraw that motion, Mr. Speaker. A gazette notice was made that the entire county, Nakuru County,
knew that we are dealing with the character of one Samuel Mwaura. Today we have come to this assembly, Mr. Speaker. They have read the Constitution, every document that they have, Mr. Speaker, but they wouldn't want this motion to continue, Mr. Speaker. Were we witch hunting, Mr. Speaker? Were we going on a fishing trip, Mr. Speaker? It is very wrong, Mr. Speaker, to proceed this way, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this assembly, Mr. Speaker, is made up of House of Rules. It's a House of Rules, Mr. Speaker. And we cannot proceed with them ganging up, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Have your seats. Have your seat.
Yes.
Have your seat. And proceed. The honourable member for Lakeview, finish on your submission.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Then we proceed.
Mr. Speaker, Karanja, you are not beyond this house.
Order. The honourable. Order.
Karanja, can you...
Order. The honourable Karanja, you are not the one to say which standing order starts at which. So you were given all the time to submit your views. So allow the debate to proceed, because you cannot be the one who is the one on the floor and the one also on the chair. So we are going to control the debate, and if then that seems that it's not enough, what we need is order in the House and the debate to proceed. Whether there is such an order or not, in the next 5 minutes, the Speaker will make a ruling, and we will know what matter and how to proceed. So proceed, the honourable member for Lakeview.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And now finish up on your
Thank you,
your
Mr.
submission.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what you are experiencing within the Assembly is that the goose are coming home roost, Mr. Speaker, because the realization that what these people were intending to do was wrong, Mr. Speaker. And let this be a lesson to many other people herein, that you cannot just murder someone, Mr. Speaker, assassinate the character of someone. That is a father, that is a brother, that is a son, and that is also a husband to someone, Mr. Speaker. Let us always remember such things in the future, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I submit.
Thank you. The honourable member for Moredat, the honourable member for Turi, the Deputy Speaker, and then the honourable member for Moredat. In that order. Every other member to be seated, apart from now the member on the floor, who is the Deputy Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to advise you. I'm your Deputy Speaker, and I know that my advice would take it with a lot of respect. Honorable Speaker, as your principal assistant, I want to advise you to adjourn the House, because as per the County Government Act, Section 44(2)(c), this Honorable House lacks jurisdiction.
Order. The honourable member for Turi. Have your piece. The honourable DS, kindly proceed and finish on your submission.
Mr. Speaker, I was telling you that this House lacks jurisdiction to prosecute the matter or the business of the day.
The honourable member for Moredat.
Mr. Speaker, mine is going to be very brief. The proponents of this motion gave a notice to your office 3 days ago. They also went ahead and prepared a list of those who support the impeachment motion. Mr. Speaker, they also prepared a list. Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker.
The honourable
Mr.
member
Speaker.
for
Naivasha
They
East.
also protect me, Mr. Speaker.
Have your,
Protect me,
have
Mr.
your
Speaker.
peace. Have your peace. Proceed.
Point
The
of
honourable
order.
member
Protect
for
me, Mr.
Morena.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Protect
Order.
me, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Proceed. The honourable member for Morena.
Protect me, Mr. Speaker. Protect me, Mr. Speaker. I need to be
Proceed.
protected.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the proponents of the motion also went ahead and prepared a list of accusations, which they have already tabled on this floor. Now, Mr. Speaker, sir, this is the opportunity to substantiate their claims.
Mr. Speaker. Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker. Order.
I withdrew along. No. I do not agree.
Order.
I do not agree with that.
Order.
I do not agree with that.
Order.
I do not agree with that.
Order.
I do not agree with that. Protect me, Mr. Speaker.
Order. And if you feel that this motion is not proper before the House, we allow you to walk out. There are things that have been raised. There are things that have been raised in this House, and this is the time to respond to them as the Speaker. As to whether this motion is properly before this House, yes, it is properly before the House. As to whether the motion can be removed or withdrawn at this point, it cannot be withdrawn. It cannot be suspended. It cannot be suspended because it is a proper motion that has taken all that, including and going ahead to obtain a special sitting permission through a gazette order. So now, this is how we proceed, and this is how the House will proceed. The question is, where we are now, is if we are going to proceed to form a committee to investigate the matters that have been raised in the motion. And so basically, that's the issue before the House. Whether we are going to proceed to form an ad hoc committee to look into the matters that have been raised through the motion. That is it. So then, this is how we are going to proceed about that. We are going to Section 40 of the County Government Act provides that this being a special motion, that the honorable members are going to ascertain that there are correct numbers that are going to support the motion proceeding or not. I wish to direct that for the members to ascertain the ongoing of the motion, we have to ascertain there is a certain threshold. And so we are going to vote to proceed with voting through roll call voting, so that now we can agree whether the motion proceeds to the next level or not. And the level of forming an ad hoc committee, that's where you are. If you are for the idea that we form the committee, you are going to vote in that. If you are not sure that we are going to proceed with the formation of the ad hoc committee, you vote. Now, there is no point of exchanges through talking and words. Right now, we are going to cause the list to be read, and then you vote how you think, if you are going to proceed, or if you are not going to proceed with the formation of the ad hoc committee. And that's how we proceed. Clerk. That's how we proceed.
Substantiate, Mr. Speaker.
What about the bus?
Ad hoc committee should be selected.
Order. Order. Order, order, order. Well, he's in National Assembly.
And we invite you, and we once again reiterate the need for orderly conduct as we proceed. Honorable members, Section 40 of the County Government Act 2012 provides that a motion similar to the one under consideration must be supported by at least 1/3 of all the members of the County Assembly. In the case of the County Assembly of Nakuru, 1/3 equates to 25 members. In this regard, honorable members, in order to ascertain the correct numbers, as required by Section 40 of the County Government Act, I wish to direct that the voting shall be conducted in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 72. Standing Order 72, so that we can ascertain the third of this assembly, we are going to proceed in this manner. When the Speaker directs a roll call voting to be taken, the division bell shall be rung for 10 minutes. The names of one teller for those who are supporting and the teller for those who are not supporting shall be submitted to the Speaker or to the Speaker, and the Speaker shall direct the tellers to take seats at the designated place. At the end of the 10 minutes, the Speaker shall direct the doors not to be locked and the bar drawn, and no member shall therefore enter or leave the assembly until after the roll call vote has been taken. When the doors have been locked and the bar drawn and the names of the tellers have been announced, the Speaker shall put the question again and direct the clerk to call out the names of members in alphabetical order in the presence of the tellers. When called out, each member shall thereupon rise in his or her place and declare assent or dissent to the question in the following manner: I vote yes, or I vote no, or I abstain, or I use the appropriate Kenyan sign language. After the clerk has read the last name in the division list, the tellers shall present the result of the roll call vote to the Speaker, who shall thereupon announce the result of the vote to the Assembly. What we are voting for clarity to be able to ascertain is how to proceed to form the ad hoc committee. For formation of the ad hoc committee, to look into the matters that were raised in the motion in the morning, or when the mover of the motion was reading and was supporting the motion. So in that order, the voting is to be able to achieve the minimum number, so that now we can proceed to know whether we are going to form the ad hoc committee to continue looking into the matters raised for the removal of the county secretary or not. And so I direct that the process starts now.
Mr. Speaker.
So the bell will be rung for 5 minutes.
What are we voting? Respect the assembly.
If you don't know what we are voting, don't vote.
Wamalia mkono haujielewi, enda nyumbani. We are voting yes or no. Weka if I will sign. Yes, and I withdrew. There is no provision in section 67. You cannot withdraw. You signed. Sell out. Yes, and I withdrew. Yeah?
Allow the members who are on the doorway to get inside and close the door.
Order. All the members to be seated. The Honorable Whip, Majority Whip, be seated. The Honorable Member for Naivasha East, be seated. The member for Turi, be seated. The member for Moredat, be seated. The Honorable Member for Kapkures, have your seat. Order members. Order members. Order. The Honorable Kezia Okumu. The Honorable Lois, have your seat. The Honorable Deputy Whip. I now call upon the two tellers who are tellers of agents for the ayes who are going to look at to represent those who will be supporting the motion for creation of an ad hoc committee. Those who are supporting, let us have their teller or their agent. Those who are for the creation, let's have your agent. Those who are against the creation of the ad hoc committee, let's have your agent. We can only have one.
Mr. Speaker, gender issue. We can have gender balance.
The agent for the agent for
It's an irregularity. Yes. That's why we are putting no. Some will even get
Was that unintentional?
the technical It's not. Anyway. So, honorable members, the honorable Masekilel, have your seat. The honorable member for Lakeview, have your seat. The honorable member for Rhonda, have your seat. Let's have an agent for those who are not supporting the creation of the ad hoc committee. Iptosha. Let's have an agent for those who are supporting the creation of the ad hoc committee.
We are opposing.
Let's move to the question.
Iptosha.
Now, that one.
Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Speaker, the honorable member for Naivasha is have your seat.
We have all agreed.
Have your seat.
All agreed. We don't want an ad hoc committee.
Have your seat.
We have all agreed.
Have your seat.
We have all agreed.
Mr. Speaker.
We don't need an ad hoc committee. We have all agreed.
Have your seat.
Mr. Speaker.
Have your seat. We at this point we are not opening any debate. At this point we are not opening any debate.
Speaker.
So honorable member for Turi, have your seat. Honorable member for Kerrigat, have your seat. We are not opening any debate at this point. So,
Kiptosha.
The Honorable Wilson.
Kiptosha na tosha.
The Honorable Wilson. The Honorable Wilson.
Keep tosha. Keep tosha. Katwita.
I vote no.
Keep tosha. Tosha. Keep tosha. Keep tosha.
Wasege's agent.
So we proceed. I am now going to call the clerk to call
Honorable Talk. Who are
now,
you representing?
we are going to proceed.
Mr. Speaker,
The
sir,
clerk.
kindly, there are some members who have been locked outside because you have prolonged the hotel.
You see, the Honorable Deputy Majority, you are a senior member of this House. You know that when the door is closed, it's closed. So I'm going to direct the clerk to now start reading out the names in the alphabetical manner, and the member will be standing up and saying whether they vote yes or no, or they abstain in that order.
Alex Ball, Kiptorora Ward.
I, Alex Bor, with all my spirit and body, I vote no.
Alice Kipkoech Araplangat, Mosop Ward.
I, Alex Kipkoech Langat, MCA Mosop, and leader of majority of this great county, I vote no.
Alex Dongobogwa, Lakeview Ward.
I, Alex Ndung'ombogwa, a Kenyan of sound mind, with all my body parts, vote no.
Ali Hassan Abdi. Anne Mudhoni Gete, nominated Jeddah.
I, Anne Mudhoni Gete, I vote no.
Anne Wamaitha, nominated Jeddah.
I, Anne Wamaitha, I vote no.
Anne Wajiro Jaguara, nominated Jeddah.
I, Anne Wanjiro Jaguara, do vote no.
Anthony Charles Kamau Kanyere, Nakuru East Ward.
I, Anthony Charles Kamau Kanyere, being a member of this house and a resident of Nakuru County, we are mourning the people of Naivasha. And
Order.
in this time,
proceed with voting.
Yes, I cannot shed someone's blood while we are mourning. I vote no.
And on that, for clarity, do not introduce other subject matters on these. It's purely voting.
Ben Kiprotich Kirui, Barut Ward.
I, Bernard Kiprotich Kirui, MCA Barut Ward, I vote no.
Bernard Kipngetich Langat, Mariashoni Ward.
I, Bernard Kipngetich Langat, I vote no.
Bernard Maina Kariuki Gatuzo, London Ward.
I, Gatuso Bernard Maina Karaoke, London Ward MCA, I vote no.
Bedisheba Kerubo Onkoba, nominated Jeddah.
I, Betsheba Kerubo, I vote a strong no.
Catherine Wajeri Mwangi, nominated Jeddah.
I, Catherine Wanjeri Mwangi, nominated MCA Kiamaina, I vote no.
Cynthia Mokami, nominated Jeddah.
I, Cynthia Mokami, among the few of us with a sense of direction, I vote no.
Cyrus Dida Degwa, Maunarok Ward.
I, Cyrus Didandegwa, Maunarok 001, underline, I vote no.
David Kehuba Muraya, Flamingo Ward.
I, David Kehumba Muraya, the member from Mingo Ward, I vote no.
David Wadiai Masharia, Shabab Ward. Okay. Degaule Elibas Naburuki, Soini Ward.
I, Digol Naburuki, representing the great people of Soin Ward, I vote no.
Dorcas Wangoi Gadere, nominated Jeddah.
I, Dorcas Wangoi Gadere, I vote no.
Doreen Korir Jebiwot, nominated Gender.
I, Doreen Korir, an independent mind, I vote no.
Elijah Mwangi Murage, Waseges Ward.
I, Elijah Mwangi Murage, MCA Waseges, I vote no.
Elijah Mwaura Masharia, Biashara Ward, Naivasha.
I, Elijah Mwaura Macharia, I vote no.
Eliud Kamau Shege, Maimahiu.
I, Eliud Kamau Chege, representing Maimahiu, I vote no.
Emmanuel Langat, Sirikwa Ward.
I, Emmanuel Langat, MCA Sirikwa Ward, I vote no.
Evelyn Chepkirui, nominated PWD.
I, Evelyn Chepkirui, I vote no.
Francis Mongai Kuria, Malewa West Ward.
I, Francis Mongai Kuria,
MCA Malawa Westward, do solemnly swear I vote no.
Honorable members, we are not encouraging gimmicks. We want to proceed directly to either how you vote, kindly, for the sake of saving time.
Okay. George Cheruyot Talam, Kabaz Ward.
I, George Cheruyot Talam, member of County Assembly, Kabazi Ward, I vote big no.
George Kanure, nominated marginalized. Absent. George Wanganga Nene, Elementaita Ward.
I, George Nene, MCA Elementaita Ward, and also the youngest MCA in Kenya, I vote a strong no.
Grace Wamboi Mwadhi, Bahati Ward.
I, Grace Wamboi Mwadhi, I vote a big no, and I represent the people of Bahati Ward.
Hamisi Misuri Fadhiri, Biashara Ward, Nakuru.
My name is Msuri, not Missouri. I, Hamisi Fadhili Msuri, a husband to 2 great wives, and a father to 3 children, representing the great people of Biashara Ward, I hereby declare my vote as a big no.
Helen Chemutai Megek, Visoi Ward.
I, Helen Chemtai Megek, representing the great people of Visoi, I vote a big no.
Helen Chepkorir Kitur, nominated Jeddah.
I, Helen Kitur, I vote no.
Heze Ezekia Kongo Karaoke, Joro Ward.
I, Ezekia Kongo Karaoke Hezi, I vote no.
Irene Jerob Cheboy, nominated Jeddah.
I, Irene Jerob Cheboy, nominated MCA Mauche Ward, I vote no.
Isaac Kiptisia Rotok, Menegai West.
I, Isaac Kiptisia Rotok, I close the kiosk by voting no.
Isabella Kerubo Makori, Subukia Ward.
I, Isabella Makori, servant of Subukia, I vote no.
James Gadoita Mwangi, Dodori Ward.
I vote no.
Jane Wajiro Getuko, Mayela Ward.
I, Jane Getuko, Mayela Ward, vote no.
John Kimngetish Madtim, Kamara Ward. Absent. John Masharia Gashiri, Roda Ward.
ID number, I vote no.
John Mwangi Masharia, Turi Ward.
I, John Mwangi, the member for Turi, I vote no.
Joseph Mwangi Muraya, Viwadani Ward.
I, Joseph Mwangi Muraya, representing the great people of Viwandani Naivasha, having no jurisdiction to prosecute, I vote no.
Joseph Guarenganga, Molo Ward.
I, Joseph Ngwarenganga, representing the people of Molo and the Deputy Speaker Nakuru County Assembly, I vote a big no.
Kezia Akinyi Okumu, nominated Gender.
I, Akinyi Kezia Okumu, special elect from Kaptembo Ward, I vote no.
Leah Jepkoech Serem, nominated Gender.
I, Leah Chepkoech Serem, the Deputy Majority Leader of this House and nominated MCA, I vote capital N-O, no.
Point of order.
Leah Wabui Nganga, Kabatini.
I, Leah Wamboi Nganga, member of Kabatini, I strongly vote no.
Lois Jerry Gadesha, nominated Gender.
I, Lois Kagesha, I vote no.
Mary Wanjiko Joroge, nominated Gender. Absent. Mase Chepkirui Kilel, nominated Gender.
I, I, Mercy Chepkirui Kilel, I vote no to end the circus.
Michael Gadhanwa Ngige.
Aye.
Ebru Baruch.
Michael Gadhanwa Ngige, representing Ebru Baruch with a clear conscience, I vote no.
Michael Jenga Dingori, nominated youth.
I, Michael Jenga Ndingori, do vote no.
Moses Ngeni Koros, Mauche Ward.
I, Moses Ngeny Koros, MCA Mauche Ward, I vote a big no.
Neto Sakwa Aluktusa, Kivubini Ward.
I, Alukuta Neto Sakwa, MCA Kivumbini Ward, and the Chair of House Business Committee, I vote no to money laundering.
Nixon Kiprotich Morogo, Solai Ward.
I, Nixon Kiprotich Morogo, representing people of Solai, I vote no.
Jogona Mwaura, Elbagon Ward.
I, Njuguna Mwaura, I vote no.
Paul Kipkorir Langat, Tinet Ward.
Hi, Paul Kipkorir Langat, representing the great people of Tinet Ward, I vote no, no, no.
Paul Waweru Warege, Kiamaina Ward.
I, Paul Waweru Warege, representing the great people of Kemaina Ward, I vote Sinadai, no.
Peter Mwamba Kajuang, Kaptebo Ward.
I, Peter Kajuang, MCA for Kaptembo, I vote no.
Peter Joroge Maina, Moridat Ward.
I, PM Joroge, MC from Morindat, it's a no thank you for me.
Peter Wajala Palanga, Olkaria Ward.
The wisdom in the house, the old man, I vote no.
Philip Wajohi Derito, Lare Ward.
Philip Wanjohi, I vote no.
Robert Kiplangat Ruto, Kapkures Ward.
I vote no.
Robert Kipiegon Langat, Amaulo Ward.
I vote no.
Rose Chepkoech, Kiptagich Ward.
Rose Chepkoech, MCA Kiptagich, I vote no.
Rose Gadoni Joroge, Gilgil Ward.
Rose Gadoni Joroge, MCA Gilgil, I cannot betray my concerns. I choose to abstain for the troubles Dr. Maura has caused me on the ground.
Samuel Mwangi Kamau Garama, Lanet Umoja Ward.
My vote is no.
Samuel Kipkebmoi, Tonui, Nesuit Ward.
I vote no.
Simon Kamau Karanja, Kehingo Ward.
I vote no.
Stanley Karanja, Naivasha East.
I, Stanley Karanja, I do vote no for to the gerrymandering.
Virginia Wamaida Gishanga, Healthgate Ward.
I, Virginia Wamaida Gishanga, I vote no.
Wajef Wilson Mwangi Washira, Menegai Ward.
Wajef Mwangi, the mover, I abstain.
Wesley Kipkurui Langat.
I vote no.
William Mutai, Kerigate Ward.
I, William Mutai Kalam, the representative of Kerengate Ward, I vote no.
Proceed to clerk, proceed to do the final tally and present the results to the speaker.
Hello, Speaker.
Have your seat, the Honourable Member for Kiamaina. Have your seat.
I'm standing on standing order number 234.
Honourable Members, these are the results for the vote. The total number of votes casted by way of declaring by the word of mouth is 69. Those for the creation of the ad hoc committee, 0. Those who are not supporting the creation of the ad hoc committee, 67. And those who have abstained, 2. Therefore, honourable members, having not attained the threshold provided for under Section 40 of the County Government Act for the creation of ad hoc committee for the removal of the county secretary, the motion is therefore defeated. The House is now adjourned to 4th June 2024 at 9:30 a.m.
Natalia.
Tupatane Top Cliff.